Dear Botopla viewers, welcome to this segment and welcome so much once again. I know you have been following our videos and we had a privilege to host different guests from different part of this grateful country of Kenya. And today we have the special guest from Refugee Brotherhood. They will have time to introduce more in details about who they are, and also they will tell us about Refugee Brotherhood. But today we have gathered here to discuss about the 16 days of activism, which is ending today. I think today is the last day, and also today is the day, Human Rights Day. I think I've spoken it correctly, and also we'll touch more a bit about human rights, and also we will just link the two in one context. And also the people I have here, they have been working with the refugees here in Nairobi, and also the host people here in Nairobi County. They have experience about working with people who have faced with gender-based violence, and also their work, they campaign to end gender-based violence. Without much ado, I would like first to welcome them. They start with the introduction. Anyone can introduce himself the way he may feel is the right way. Then from there, we can go deep into the conversation. Let him start with, on my left, my brother. Welcome.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
My name is Edwin Micheka. I work with the Refugee Brotherhood as the communications person. At the same time, I support the psychosocial support department. I'm happy to be here. Looking forward to a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, for Edwin. Welcome. Next.
Thank you so much, Museveni. My name is Luke Kalema. I'm the Executive Director of Refugee Brotherhood. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Then, least not last. So on my right hand, we have our brother. Also, you can tell our viewers who you are, and also the role you play in the Refugee Brotherhood.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you are viewing us from. And thank you so much, my friend Museveni, for this invitation. My name is Robert Ogunde. I am from Refugee Brotherhood. I'm the chairman, advisory board. Very glad and very excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much all for coming and honoring our invitation. It's very important for people to discuss on different matters. As I've said, before we go to the point of today, I would like to understand what is Refugee Brotherhood, or what can you tell us about a bit about Refugee Brotherhood? What do you do? Where are you located? Yeah, before we go deep in the topic.
Thank you so much. Maybe I should take that. Refugee Brotherhood is a community-based organization. It is established and led by refugees, and then it works with the host community. In almost each and every program that Refugee Brotherhood lands, it will be 70% refugees and 30% host community. That is the principle. But in so many cases, we've gone again above. I mean, the host community might go above, and then the refugee community will be low because of the practices that we go finding in each and every day. Like today, where we are seated here, you will find out that
the representation is not
it will
reflecting
also have changed, but that is okay. We just welcome it. We like it so much. That is how we work, because we have to work as a community that lives together. Refugee Brotherhood has 4 main programs. We have livelihood, we have psychosocial support, we also have advocacy, and then peace building. But under livelihood, we also venture into environment. So under livelihood, we manage to enter into environment activities, but using environment to achieve livelihood. Thank you. I think, in short, that is what we deal in.
Where is your office, please?
Yes, our office is found in Kayole. That is Patanisho, specifically near the Patanisho Hospital. That is where our offices are located.
So very glad to have people from all the way from Kayole joining us here at Botopla Studios here in Kasarani. We are very much honored to host you. I would like to start by maybe people who understand the word gender-based violence. Mr. Chairman, to the people who are watching this segment and they are not very familiar with the term gender-based violence, how do we explain to this category of people?
Well, thank you so much, my friend. Let me just say that 1 out of 3 women and girls globally face some form of physical and sexual violence. And the problem is even much more exacerbated when you go to areas with conflict. These are people, ladies, women, and children that people take advantage of, especially in conflict areas. So this form of violence could be physical, it could be verbal, it could also be very, very sexual. And we know that this also has a very, very negative impact in so many other dimensions, notably even in our economy, even as a country. When a woman has been battered, when a woman has been raped, when a woman is not able to wake up and to go and also earn a living, it affects our GDP as a nation because there are lost incomes, lost opportunities, and things of that nature. So it's actually just going against human rights when people perpetrate violence, either physical or verbal or otherwise, to our young girls and our women. I think it's a very important thing that for us to be able to work out and see, because these are our sisters, they're our mothers, they're our wives, and it's important that we are holding such kind of events and commemorating this kind particular sort of day. Thank you.
So, is gender-based violence pronounced when it happens towards women and girls or whatever, or it can be in a different direction? Maybe also men can face gender-based violence.
Yes, men do face gender-based violence. When we define gender-based violence, it's acts of violence directed to an individual because of his or her gender.
Yes.
That is men inclusive. So men and boys also face gender-based violence, and it is something that has been happening within our community. And most of the men have been silent, and they have not been coming out to speak out their issues that they are facing such kind of violence. So within these 16 days of activism, we have been ensuring that we include also men in addressing gender-based violence within addressing the various kind of violences within our community. So because I believe when we include men and boys in this advocacy process, then we'll be able to achieve that intended goal of a peaceful world, of a place where there is free from violence. I think that is what I can
So
share.
anyone can face
Violence.
violence,
Yeah.
which is called gender-based violence. So for both men and also for both women.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask, in a case or a scenario where such situation occurred, what would you suggest a person to do immediately after experiencing such situation?
Usually it depends with the type of gender-based violence a person as he or she has experienced. And we have, as my chairperson said, that we have physical violence, we have sexual violence, we have emotional or psychological violence. So it depends with the type of violence an individual experiences. But the first instinct is to report that incident. You can either, we have various free toll numbers that you can report to in case of any kind of violence. But in case of sexual violence, it's good you go to the hospital, to your nearest hospital, and then report that case to the police station for documentation purposes and for the perpetrator to be followed with. Thank you.
You want to add?
Maybe just to add something. What my colleague is saying is very, very true. But I also want us to, at this very particular moment, to think of what is happening in the country today. Just 2 or 3 days ago, we've lost a young girl, 12 years of age. And the investigations show that this girl was defiled before being murdered. And that is violence that was meted against her. So for her, she cannot be able to report such kind of things. But it's now an opportunity for us who are able to witness and been able to see what is happening, to take charge and present such kind of cases to the law enforcing agencies.
What does the International Human Rights Day and the 16 days of activism on GBV prevention for refugees in Kenya, what does the human right?
So I think these 16 days of activism that started on 25th of November, and it's ending today, which is 10th on December, International Human Rights Day. I think it is a good platform whereby the voices of refugees are being heard, because refugees first experience violence when they are probably they run away from their their countries and come into Kenya. And while in Kenya also, most refugees, also women and girls, experience various forms of gender-based violence. So we believe that within these 16 days of activism, it has been a good platform for refugees to get that platform to voice out their issues, to a space where they learn, a space where they heal through, because they have been wounded in one way or the other. And in this platform, when they are provided with that space to speak out, to share their experiences, it cultivates the spirit of resilience. So we believe that in these 16 days of activism, we'll be able to put the government accountable, because when refugees are in the host community, the host community or the host government should be accountable for the refugees that are here, and also the various international organizations that support refugees, so that their needs, their voices, and their aspirations to be provided, because refugees, they have the right to right for shelter, rights for life, right for free from any kind of violence,
which are human rights.
So we say that human rights are also refugees' rights. So that is what we are pushing for, and this kind of platform, it gives us a space where we can voice out the various issues that we have been doing in the communities, providing space for refugees, and cultivating a space to heal through their various traumatic experiences, supporting them with economic empowerment. And through this platform, I believe that we'll be able to provide that space where refugees also are felt heard within the host communities, and they be comfortable working and being productive in the country. Thank you. I think that is my insights.
Mr. Luke, you may add as you add, but also you will continue with this question.
All right.
Do you think, you have been working with refugees for a long time, maybe, have you ever acknowledged any legal or policy protection that protect refugees against gender-based violence?
Thank you so much. Human Rights Day, and then the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Human rights are broad, and it's an advantage that now the 16 days end on the same day that celebrates human rights. Now, this is one side of rights that is being looked at. I think after when the whole world failed to look at a human being as a human being first, then we focused so much on the biological differences. This is the reason that we are talking about gender-based violence. We are just looking at the failures of humanity on looking at a human being as a human being. Before looking at me as a man or at her as a woman, we need to see people as human beings. But now, when we failed that is when now we start talking of gender-based violence, because we base on that, and then we start violating people's rights and being violent at the same time, because I always look at these two words and they sometimes sound confusing. Okay, now for the violations, if we go to protection as you have asked,
any legal or
yes,
policy that protects refugees?
Thank you so much. I think Kenya is a very good country if we go to rights and their protections. If you look now at refugees, let us be specific to those, because the Kenyan constitution is broad on rights. And when it talks about rights, it talks about them on each and every individual that is on the Kenyan land. Now, when you look at the laws of Kenya, then you will have to also look at the Refugee Act 2021. Now, this Refugee Act 2021 gave the refugees rights now to be considered as people or members of the community that makes the Kenyan community. So all the rights now will also work on the refugees as well. So when you look at the constitution, you look at the Refugee Act 2021, then that also gives them right to the laws, the international laws that have been ratified by the government of Kenya. Then that also will take us to the 1951 convention.
All the laws,
yes,
in the country also,
yes,
offer protection to the refugees.
Yes, the same. A refugee is protected by law like any other Kenyan is protected. So if we go to specific laws regarding the violations of, the gender-based violence, then all those laws will apply. Let us talk about the laws protecting female genitation. I think it cannot, is it female genital mutilation? Yes, that act. Now, if you are a refugee and you are in Kenya, you cannot do that. Okay, if you can't do that to your daughter, then your daughter is protected the same way as a Kenyan girl has been protected. That is what I wanted to bring in. If the laws of Kenya also talk about the human trafficking, you cannot traffic. That means if it is human trafficking, it is looking at a human being. It is looking at an individual, not as a refugee.
Not your status.
Yes, at least the laws there, when we come to the Kenyan laws, they have solved the problem I started with, where we look at people in the image of the biological differences. But now the laws here are looking at a human being as a human being. So refugees should be comfortable in Kenya. Each and every law that Kenyan protects a Kenyan will protect a refugee as well. So that also brings me to, if we talk of policies and the legal framework, you also look at the political will. I think
Yeah.
the government of Kenya has
Yeah.
shown a very great, good political will. When we look at the Shirika plan, the way the Kenyan government now is working to see that a refugee has really been helped to solve all the problems that they are meeting. This is a very good plan that the Kenyan government has drafted, and it has already started now putting it into action. I think when you look at all those, the legal framework really protects a refugee.
So, what you've mentioned, the will. There might be very beautiful legal framework,
But
good
no
protection policies, but they still assume that these are refugees. They don't see people as human beings, as you are just slaying the issue. So, is there any challenges? Maybe because you have been working in this field, you have met different people. Is there any challenge, or have been there challenges that refugee face when it comes to gender-based violence? Anyone
Yes.
can answer this question.
Before maybe anyone comes in, I want to clarify on the will. When they go ahead, because we see the will through the actions that have been done by a certain individual or a government. Now, when we look at Kenya, the will is good. We
Yes.
have already seen it. So
Yeah.
if the policy has been put in place, then the execution level will be another thing to
Yeah.
look at.
The
But
action stage.
Yes. Now, the action stage will come later, but the will has been shown. So it is now upon us as the advocates to look at those points that are not functioning and then get back to them and tell them things are not going on well here. Because if a policy is put in place, then they have invited you, come and act on it, because who is the government? I've never met a government and said good morning. It has no
Governmental people.
no, it is people. We are the government. Okay. Now, if we talk about the government of Kenya, we are talking about the people that's living in Kenya, us included. So, if there are any points that are not functioning, I think it is not a basis to say that the will is not there. At least the doors have been opened. We have seen the documents, and as you have said, they are very beautiful. Now, what we have to do is doing our part first, and then putting to accountability those who are supposed to execute whatever they have to execute. Thank you.
So I have asked, is there any, or is there many challenges, any or many
The challenges are there. Yes.
that refugee face
Yes.
regard to this
The
context of GBV?
challenges are there, very much so, because the first challenge now, if you talk to those that are working on the Shirika plan, they tell you there has been a mapping. Okay, there has been a mapping of laws that have been affected by this Shirika plan, and these laws means it means the laws will have to be either amended or new ones will be put in place. So that is a challenge first, because when the laws of Kenya were being put in place, at that time they were not informed about refugees. They were not refugee informed. But today, after the Shirika plan, then these laws have to reflect whatever the Shirika plan wants to work on, because some of the laws might be a hindrance. So there are obstacles here and there, but these obstacles, we are very hopeful because they are working on them. So as we continue, yes, of course, people will talk about documentation, people will talk about so many things, but of course, those are there as challenges, and they have been addressed. And as advocate, people in the advocacy, we have been always talking about these, and others are also talking about them. And we hope, because of the will, all these challenges might change.
Ms. Edwin, what's your point of view about the challenges that refugee face in the context of GBV? And also, if you have any addition about the legal and protection framework, are they working? accordingly.
I think to add with what my brother has said, with regards to the legal frameworks, we have good legal frameworks that protect refugees. At the same time, the host community, like the Sexual Offences Act, and those acts have been provided there to help the Kenyans, also the refugees. And when a person is one or the other hurt, the support is available. But sometimes there are some challenges. These challenges can come in different formats. There are some challenges from probably with regards to the documentation issues, and there are some other personal challenges probably from the refugees themselves, because due to that fear, because due to that language issue, language barrier, some refugees find it difficult to express themselves that, hey, I am hurt, hey, I have been violated. So sometimes such kind of experiences hinder justice from taking place, because some refugees take a backside. So I think from the various engagements that we have been having within the community, we have been providing that space for refugees to give them that spirit of hope and resilience, that despite those challenges, they have voice to share their challenges and to seek support wherever they can, because we have different institutions, organizations ready to support,
And also government institutions.
and the government institutions that are ready to support refugees in case of any kind of gender-based violence. Because in these 16 days of activism, we have those, the physical, sexual, but also now we are having digital violence, that violence that is happening online through probably Facebook, Twitter, the different platforms that we are having. So I think from the engagement we have had through our enlightenment, through enlightening them that these cases are there, then we are providing them the opportunity to see how we can address their challenges. We say issues with language barriers, issues with documentation,
Lack of awareness.
lack
maybe
of
They don't know where to
awareness.
report, where to go.
Yeah, such kind of initiatives. I think we have been advocating for the same, and I believe that our voice have been heard. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask, the 16 days of activism, don't you think that such kind of conversation, such kind of voicing the GBV issues that are outside are only done during this period? Or what can be done so that the momentum continue to roll on even after the 16 days?
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, my colleagues, for those valuable insights. Over the 16 days, a lot has been done. And even personally, I've been able to learn so much. It's been an opportunity to sensitize, to educate, to inform, to persuade and to convince people, to get to know so much about human rights, and also to be able to know how to act. It's good that the 16 days that culminates in this final day today, things have happened, and great things. But again, these are things that we hope that can be able to continue even after today, and that it will be part and parcel of our everyday life, because human rights are everyday essentials.
Yes.
We wake up, you want to eat, you want to go to school. When you are sick, you want to go to the hospital. So these are things that should be there. And also, in my own opinion, organizations, whether they are refugee-led organizations or other civil society organizations, have to put this and integrate this to be part and parcel of what is happening with them. I personally say that we have the young people and young people, even the young refugees from whichever communities that they come from, these are people who also need to form good clubs and some clubs where they are taught about human rights and also how to say no to GBV. So it is something that should be continuous. It should not stop with today. But again, it's a challenge to all Kenyans now that we are in Kenya. How many of us are actually know that something like the Refugee Act 2021 exists? How many of us are familiar with this kind of laws? So let's continue to research widely, read widely, continue the implementation, and let this be a day-to-day thing, because human rights are our everyday essentials. Thank you.
So we should be speaking about it every day.
Always.
On the continuation.
Yes.
On the continuation, how it can continue, I will take it together with the last question about the challenges. For them to be solved, the continuation needs to look at the awareness, as you brought it. Awareness needs to be looked at broadly, not only to certain group or some individuals, but both to the government and to the community. So many people do a lot of things just because they lack awareness. You will find on the protection of refugees, they need a lot of awareness to be done. Like when they arrive in the country, some of them are not aware, as Edwin mentioned, of their rights. Some are not aware of their rights. Things will be happening to them and they don't know it is a right to them to not to be done that way. Another thing are the cultural differences. The cultural differences that people come with. You find that a certain community has a certain culture, but when you translate it into the Kenyan laws, you will find
It's
that culture a crime. Okay, so awareness is needed. People should really be talked to, and then the government also should make awareness to certain institutions. The institutions need to know the rights of refugees, and let us go up to the level of the police officers. They should understand that a refugee in the country is living legally. This is a legal binding individual. They should not look at people just because you don't own a Kenyan identity card, as then someone starts looking at you as a criminal, because these are some of the things that we meet. Where
So awareness has to be for both sides.
Yes, it has to be done extensively, because so many people have been meeting these challenges. You just stand somewhere, just because you can be recognized from far that you're from Sudan, then you find yourself arrested. Then when you follow up the reason why you have been arrested, it is just the appearance, and someone expected something from you. So these are some of the advocacy lines that the people should take to give awareness to these people that are not aware. Because I just think a police officer doing that, they are doing it out of ignorance. Because somebody should not be arrested just because of the appearance, and then afterwards you start bringing in other discussions quite different from what you were saying when you were arresting this person. So it's all about that. The government will do its part, then the people also should do their part, most especially those organizations that stand for the rights of refugees. They should do a lot on the refugees and the refugee community about making them aware of the laws that are in place, protecting them actually.
I have heard that in law, a failure to know something, it's not a defense, or it's not a mechanism of defending yourself. So it's also part of the community people to take advantage to know. It's only an obligation for the government, for humanitarian organization, for whoever to come down to make such a bit, or even people in the community. It's your law to learn. search to understand your rights, because it's for your good and interest as well. So I would like also, as we recommend the government and also government institutions, because you've said the government are people, but let's say frame it in as institutions, and also in Mantela, also the community at the grassroots level, they have to rise up. Don't wait that someone will come and teach you about ABC. So as we are coming to an end of this conversation, I would like to ask you, Edwin, what is the biggest takeaway people should remain with as we close these 16 days of activism?
So I think the greatest takeaway during as we finish these 16 days of activism is that still the journey continues, and prevention on gender-based violence is possible. If we believe that we can prevent it, it's possible. And as we do the awareness, also it's important that we cultivate a space to heal through our various wounds. Because when we are not healed, then we can be violent without us even realizing. And I believe that we can be able to break the various cycles of violence that we witness, and be the change we want, we want to see within our communities. We want to see a free, a violence-free society where we can live together as brothers and sisters, and so that when you are free and you are free from any kind of violence, you can be productive. You can be able to be productive and support the country as it is expected. But when there's a lot of violence, there's kills, then we may find ourselves returning back. So I believe that this is not the end. We can be able to continue with the advocacy and cultivate that spaces for healing within our communities, educate the community, and say that we can break these cycles of violence and give our brothers and sisters hope that together it's possible to end GBV. Thank you.
Chairman, on your side, what would you like people to go with as takeaway?
Thank you so much. Change is possible. Change is important. Change begins with me as an individual. And much as I would like to bring or see that GBV comes to an end, I look at myself as an individual and ask myself that I have a spouse, and how am I treating my spouse as an individual? And you're also saying, like, if for those of us who are Christians, somewhere in the book of 2 Peter, it says that if you're a man and you keep on, I'm just paraphrasing, you keep on violating the rights of your wife, you keep on beating your wife or your spouse for that matter, even your prayers will not be answered. So the other thing is that civil society organizations, including RLOs, we all have to know that we have a vital role in preventing human rights abuses. And for that matter, I'd also appeal for organizations, sorry for that, we are able to run our institutions very, very professionally. And if we run them professionally, then we'll be able to achieve our objectives and goals as institutions. And also very, very important, information is key and knowledge is power. Let people go out. Let people not be reactive when things have happened. That's when they're looking for help. Let's be proactive. Let's find out what the law says on refugees, what the law says on human rights. Let's be a step ahead. And also, let's not give up. Sometimes things might not be very easy. Even organizations, civil society organizations, refugee-led organizations, small actions and the small things that we do add up to something that is very, very big. So let's continue doing that. And all stakeholders, and we are all stakeholders, the law enforcing system, the justice system. If you're a police officer, for example, can you be diligent? Can you be honest in your work? When somebody is guilty, they are guilty. When they are innocent, And it's just like that. And even the justice system, the magistrates and the court system, let's just be professional, let's be diligent when we discharge our duties. And this will go a long way to help us as a nation and even to bring GBV to an end. Thank you.
Your takeaway. Thank you so much. The takeaway that I want to give is we should try and learn how to deal with each and everybody in a way that gender is really applied in specific relationships. In other relationships, gender is totally irrelevant. Let us not put gender each and everywhere. That is the reason why we are violating people's rights. Because if we at work, what is my gender got to do with whatever I'm doing? If we are on the road and we happen to collide, we were all driving, why do you really want to again look at me according to the gender? Let us leave gender to specific relationships, because this is the part that we have failed. We have looked at ourselves so much in the gender differences, which is not proper at all. Thank you.
As we wind up, because this is a very big topic, we can have more conversations to make people get to understand deeply what we are discussing about. But because also we have other engagement, would like to end this segment and also go and do other businesses. I would like to ask the last question. Each one, you can take 1 minute and also give your point of view about it. I would like to let anyone say, there are people who have faced gender-based violence. They are wounded. They need hope. So I would like, if there is a message you can leave to such person in such situation, just a hope or a message that gives hope to people who have already, okay, we have explained what is gender-based violence, the human right, and we are trying to tell people, maybe people who have never experienced such scenario, they know what they can do. But those people who have already, who had already faced the such scenario, what message can you? Even people who went through gender-based violence, some can ruin their life in one way or another. So I would like, as we wind up this segment, anyone from this setup to give your hope, your message of hope to people who have gone through this. And if possible, any message to people who are violent. You know, there are people, I don't know if it's by nature, if anyone can be violent by nature or character, they were created in such. So any message for people who have experienced gender-based violence, who are wounded, give them a message of hope, and also to people who like mostly to abuse others. One final message.
Thank you so much, Museveni. Let me say, even as I conclude, GBV happens in many areas. I would particularly like to boil down to family level, at the family level. Your spouse is a very, very important person. Protect what you love. The man, protect your wife. The wife, protect your husband. It's a very good thing. Secondly, as an individual, whether you are a man or you are a woman, in that relationship that you have, let's practice some form of emotional intelligence. It's a wide subject, but let me just specify on the issue of self-regulation. Be able to think before you act. Because if you don't think, if you act without thinking, then the consequences could be very, very disastrous. And the personal choices that we make are very, very important. We make choices every day. What kind of friends to have, whether to abuse drugs or not to abuse drugs, Of course, there's been a very close link between drug abuse and violence. So let's make great choices and good choices and have good friends, and also advise children so that they'll be able to do these. Two very, very quick ones is the issue of success. People become successful. In families, people become successful. But the problem is that some people are not able to handle success well. And if you're not able to handle success well, it could also be a reason as to why violence occurs. If you're a woman in a family setup, for example, if you become successful, then work as a team in that family unit. Work as a team. Families should not be places where people are competing, and this kind of competition, or where people look down upon other people because they are simply successful, can also bring issues in at the family level. They say that success has ruined more people than failure. So let's be able to do that. And also, last but not least, is that we have a generation today that is graduating to become fathers and mothers tomorrow. And the question would be, how prepared are they? How prepared are they? The women who are getting into marriage, the men who are getting into marriage, I know there's been a lot of empowerment, but there should be another component of developing. How can I be a good husband? How can I be a good wife? And how can I be a good parent? When we do such, then we would have done a lot towards ensuring that GBV does not happen, and also to ensure that whoever it has happened to, let them seek for help. There are lots of organizations that can give legal advice and also be able to help them with the mental health issues because of what they're going through. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A word of hope for those that have been abused and those that might be even still being abused. One, for the word of hope, is that the whole world today and the past 16 days has denounced what you're passing through. Gender-based violence has been denounced. At least not even moral support is being given to it. As we stand here today, we denounce that. So that is wrong. Just know something wrong is being done to you. So you need to take action as well. So you have to report this. You need to report. I want to share numbers of intervention where you would call in cases of this abuse. So we have, in cases of rape, we have MSF that you can call to. That is Médecins Sans Frontières. MSF number, people I think can take this. You can call and these people will intervene. You can call 08 00 72 11 00. I repeat, 08 00 072 11 00. That is MSF or Médecins Sans Frontières in full. Then you can also call Usikimye, and these really respond. The number is 08 00 00 09 99. I repeat, 08 00 00 09 99. If you call those numbers for emergency, you can be assisted. Thank you.
Edwin.
So for me, I think for the survivors, I can say that I'm loved and I'm cared for, and I look forward to becoming a change agent in my community. And for the perpetrator, probably any person who can be a perpetrator, I can say that it's possible I can be a resource for peace within my community. Through becoming aware who I am, I can be a resource of peace within my community. It doesn't require for me to use violence to say I am a man or something of the sort. So that is what I can share. Thank you.
So, as I've said earlier, the topic is very wide and we cannot finish everything in this session. So I would request you allow me, we wind up from here. And I would request you as well, if you can get enough time, you can come back, then we go deep in deep, because understanding GBV, form of GBV, what can be done in a scenario, people who have faced such experience, how the healing process, it's something you cannot talk in a conversation of 40 or 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So we need to go deep and even give some examples. If you have testimonies of people who have healed, so we need to discuss this more often. So I would like to request you to come back once again if you really accept my request. Okay?
Yeah. So I think this is a show we have started.
Yes.
A voice of courage.
Yes.
So I think the voice of courage is that it's just a beginning.
Okay. Today is the beginning.
Yeah.
So
today is the
more are
beginning.
coming.
More are coming.
Mm.
I think through support we'll
Yeah.
be able to see how we can continue with this kind of conversation, bring other expertise on board,
Yeah.
who can be able to highlight more, because today we just gave a summary of it, an overview,
And we were focusing on these 16 days of activism.
Yeah.
So you guys, you see the team here have accepted that these will become more and more. Let's hope for better in the future. And also, your support is very important. Please, you can go in the comment section, share your comment, your view about what we have spoken. If you have an additional, you can just put in the comment. Someone also can lead it and get helped by your comment, because this is a conversation where we engage our audience. Also, this is Botopla TV with the refugees. We would like this platform to grow and be of benefit to the audience or the community, because we know the power of the media and sharing the voices, the voices of courage.
Voices of courage.
The voices of courage. So let's hope in the future. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your contribution. As we wind up the 16 days of activism, gender-based violence has been denounced. It's a crime. It's wrong. If you are you have intention to do so, maybe you are beating your kids like you want, any way you want. If you are abusing your wife, you are abusing your colleague at work, whatever form of violence you are doing, kindly stop from today. And also, if you have any problem that is causing you to do so, you can seek help. You can inform and be a resource to the community, as my brother have said. So let's meet in the next segment of Voice of Courage next time. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. And also thank you so much for viewing or watching this segment till the end. See you. Bye-bye.